Like many of you, I juggle multiple roles: a trainer, a teacher, a mentor, a coach, parent, sibling, colleague, friend. And yet, at the core of these multiple identities, I am, above all, a student, always learning, always growing, and forever work in progress. What I have seen is that this mindset has kept me curious and open. This is the time when I see that this mindset has helped me ask questions and evolve around the times. Today, I invite you to reflect on how awareness on what we don't know can be the key to learning better. For this, I would request all of you to kindly close your eyes once and imagine a situation with me. Okay? Imagine that you are driving on a busy street in your city, and suddenly you hear a car honk, and it overtakes your car dangerously, and before you could realize, it goes straight through the signal, while you still wait for the signal to go green. You may now open your eyes. Now take a pause and think, why did he do that? Was he not trained? Did he not know? Of course he was trained. He knew how to drive the car, he knew how to apply brakes, and he was aware of traffic rules. But still, why did he do that? Now hold on to that thought, because this is not just about traffic. This is about life, this is about work, and most importantly, this is about learning. We live in a world that constantly blurs the line between what is real and what it seems real. From the stories we read, media we consume, and the technology that we use shapes how we think. Illusion surrounds us. In Indian philosophy, we call this Maya, the grand illusion. Now, this is not a deception, but it's a magic that makes us believe that appearances are reality. And if you ask me, where is this illusion most powerful today? It is there in the movies. It is very much influential in social media. And at the same time, it is very much powerful, yet we are unaware of it. It's there in the learning. So let me just try to relate this with a story. A few years ago, I designed a training program that I thought is one of the best training programs ever created for the leadership development team. The course material, the course content was structured properly. The assessment was sharp. The feedback was glowing. And I believe I've nailed it. That was one of the best course content ever created. The dashboard, as I see, was all green. The feedback, 4.9 out of 5. The level of skills that have increased was from 2 to 4 out of 5. So it was all green, very much overwhelming for us to see. A few weeks later, during a project debrief, something strange happened. These participants were able to recall the content, but they were not able to apply it. And when I was talking to them, they were able to talk about leadership, but they haven't become leaders. And that day, it hit me that I wasn't training through the illusion, I was living in one. The illusion of knowing. We often mistake awareness for mastery, information for understanding, and completion for competence. That's Maya in learning. It is a belief that progress on screen is equal to growth in the mind. We live in the world, in the age of instant answers. AI writes essays. YouTube explains everything. And every other day, there's a new course, new training material for us to go through. This is empowering. But beneath this convenience lies a quiet illusion that access to information equals wisdom. But information is not knowledge, and knowledge is not wisdom. True learning begins once we confront the gap between what we know and what we think we know. And in organizations, I have seen another kind of illusion. We have trained them, now they must be skilled. They have completed their course content or their syllabus, now they must be competent. But only matrices could not tell us what one has truly learned. It could tell us who has clicked next. As I said, the dashboard, how it was all green. We could say that Maya lives even in our dashboard. Now you must be thinking, how do you break through this illusion? How do you ensure that instead of just consuming the information, you transform through it? Here, I would like to talk about the three mindsets: awareness, curiosity, and humility. Awareness is realizing that illusion exists, that what we know is not equal to what we do. Also, all our experiences, our biases, our successes, it shapes how we interpret the truth. It could be as simple as not littering the streets to as big as being empathetical towards our planet. Curiosity is the courage. It's the courage to say, I don't know. And this is what makes a scientist experimenting, an artist sketching, and a leader thinking. Humility, perhaps the hardest one, is the ability to say, or is ability to admit that being wrong is the part of learning right. In the pharmaceutical industry where I work, we often go by compliance training, doing things by books. What I've learned is a real learner is not the one who just comply. A real learner is the one who asks, who questions. Why is this so? Why does this matter? How can we make it better? And that's where the learning stops being an illusion and transformation begins. As I look back now into my life, in my career journey, every major shift that I have witnessed, I have experienced a change by unlearning something. Unlearning that leadership is about control. Unlearning that knowledge is about answers. And unlearning that teaching is about talking. Learning, I have realized that it's not about collecting truths. It's about seeing through the illusion, especially the ones that we have built about ourselves. Maya does not just hide reality. It invites us to look deeper. So next time, if you feel that you are certain, take a pause. Next time, if you feel that you have mastered something, ask, have you? Or have you just memorized the illusion of it? Because a real learner is not the one who knows the most. A real learner is the one who is most aware of what he don't know. Let me take you back to the story of this traffic signal. The driver, he knew the rule, he knows how to drive, he was aware of traffic signal, but knowing did not change his behavior. Knowledge without motivation and context is powerless. Many a times, what we have witnessed is these drivers, they act on perceived urgencies, which is not real, at least not when we compare it with actual emergencies. The illusion here is not breaking the rule. The illusion here is believing that the urgency is genuine. And many other times, this driver has a brief sense of achievements, which is not really true when it is compared with actual success. It's funny to say that many of these drivers were competing with the traffic signal, or maybe some other drivers who has no idea they are into the race. The danger lies here in believing that these urgencies are real, when in fact these are illusions that just reinforce progress without substance. In life, as in learning, the real challenge is not to know more. It's transforming what we know to what we do. Knowing is easy. Doing is hard. And wisdom, it begins once you admit that you don't know. And maybe, just maybe, that awareness is where the learning truly begins. Today I invite you to take with you this question, not just as a thought, but as a challenge. Are you still living in the world of illusion? Thank you so much.